after we initially went live with RateLinx. I mentioned before, we have a pretty complex rate shopping process, particularly when it comes to LTL. And as anyone who ships LTL knows, those accessorial and delivery fees can get you. We've always disputed fees with LTL carriers, but often we didn't have the data we needed to keep up with the fight. Manually reviewing and disputing freight invoices was almost a full-time position with our volume that we ship. And Freight Audit isn't going to magically fix those problems. Freight Audit is going to give you the tools you need to identify and deal with them and address them to the carriers effectively. When the vendor's invoice matches to the expected shipping charges, great, perfect. The data automatically goes into our ERP. It's queued up for payment. Nobody has to enter anything manually. And that saves us a ton of time. And we automate that majority. And now we just deal with the exceptions that don't go in. And with the data RateLinx has provided, we've been able to identify that by far, the majority of invoice exceptions came from those carrier reclassification scenarios I mentioned before. MatchPay revealed the scope of that issue for us, and that helps justify that investment in that Cubiscan pallet dimensioner I mentioned previously, and that makes that problem go away. The second most common scenario is when the carriers were ignoring accessorials that we were clearly submitting on the shipment. And that was a little bit more complicated. RateLinx had to work behind the scenes with each carrier to correct those data mapping issues. And now we've resolved most of that. Again, we're seeing a lot more automation and fewer exceptions as we go forward.